Good morning, everyone. Today, I am going to tell you a story of Saint Francis of Assisi. Here are some facts about Saint Francis of Assisi. His feast day is celebrated every 4th day of October. He is considered as a patron saint of animals, merchants, and ecology. He was born in 1181 and died in 1226. Now, let us begin. Francis was born in 1181. During that year, his father was not around, so his mother decided to name him Giovanni. After a year, when his father knew about it, his father was so furious, so he renamed Francis Francesco. Francis lived a very rich, easy life while growing up because his father was so wealthy. From the beginning, people loved Francis. He was constantly happy, charming, and a natural-born leader. As he grew up, he was a leader of a crowd of young people who would spend their night in wild parties. Francis was also good in business, just like his father. But Francis wanted more than wealth. He wanted to be a knight because he wanted glory. So, he got his first chance of being a knight because that time, Assisi declared war against its longtime enemy, the nearby town of Perugia. During that fight, most of the troops in Assisi were butchered. Only those who are wealthy enough to be expected to be ransomed were taken prisoners, and one of them was Saint Francis of Assisi. He was chained and taken in a harsh and dark dungeon. After 1 year, he was ransomed. Strangely, that experience didn't change him at all. He still wanted glory. He still wanted to be a knight. And he still wanted to fulfill his dreams. Finally, a call for knights gave him another chance to fulfill that dream. Francis left Assisi wearing a decorated armor and a horse. However, Francis didn't go farther than 1 day's ride from Assisi. He had a dream in which God told him to return home. So, he did. When he returned home, he was humiliated, laughed at, and called a coward by the villagers. And even his father was so mad at him because of the money wasted for his armor. Francis started to pray. He spent most of the time praying and asking forgiveness of all his sins. He went off the cave to pray and help other people. His search for conversion led him to the ancient church of San Damiano. While he was praying there, he heard the voice of Christ in the crucifix saying, "Francis, repair my church." So Francis did. However, he doesn't have the money to do it. So, he took fabric from his father's shop and sold it. When his father knew about this, his father was so mad. So, he dragged Francis before the bishop and in front of the whole crowd and told Francis to return the money. The bishop was so kind at Francis. He told Francis to return the money because God will provide. That was all Francis needed to hear. He did not only return the money, but also stripped off all his clothes and gave it back to his father. From that time on, Francis had nothing. Francis started to preach. He preached about returning to God and being obedient to the church. Soon, companions come to Francis. People who want to follow his life of being simple, sleeping in an open, begging for garbage to eat, and following God. The Brotherhood of Francis included all of God's creation. In fact, his love for nature was very deep. There was one famous story wherein Francis preached to hundreds of birds. The birds were just listening, standing still, and walking with him. They will only fly off when Francis told them to do so. Another famous story was about a wolf who had been eating human beings. Francis intervened when the people in the town wanted to kill the wolf. Francis talked to the wolf and told it not to eat human beings anymore. And that wolf became a pet of the townspeople. Francis is a man of action. His simplicity of life extended to his ideas and deeds. If there is a simple way, no matter how difficult or impossible it may seem, Francis would do it. Years of poverty and wandering around made Francis sick. When he began to go blind, the Pope ordered his eyes to be operated on. Francis never recovered from his illness. He died on October 4, 1226, at the age of 45. Francis is considered as the founder of all Franciscan order and known as the patron saint of merchants and ecologists. So that ends my story. The part of the story of Saint Francis that inspired me most was when he gave up his wealth and dreams just to live a simple life. Nowadays, many of us are not prepared to do the same thing. Many are living a life of greed and selfishness. Because of power and money, they are led to corruption and dishonesty. I hope that this story will serve as a reminder that with God, we can have a happy and fulfilling life. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe Marfe the Pilgrim and Marfe the Catholic, and please hit the notification bell for you to be updated with the upcoming videos. Thank you, and may God bless us all.